Hey, I'm here to give you feedback on your fort splits. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to DM me directly or ping me in your RIP thread. Incredible bitrate, but I'm assuming that they're still uploading, so it's fine. I don't know. Okay, entered 6, went to 5. This is fine. You need to be more ready to block clutch. It also looks like you're fading back. That isn't super duper necessary, but it's fine. Also, before talking about fort splits, we need to talk about before the fort. Because right here, your inventory is a cluttered mess. It doesn't, I don't know where things go here. Like, if you have to clear an inventory slot every time that you like enter a fort, like that's just straight up time loss. But with that being said, you need to be setting yourself up for the next split during that same split. So what that looks like is, I always recommend clearing your inventory first and then crafting things. And then of course, if you need to heal between pearl throws or whatever, you can do that. But like the books, you don't need 5 or 3 stacks of soul sand. Like you don't need a flint and steel and fire charges. Like all of those things you can just go away with now. So that way you have space for blaze rods when they drop, or explosives, which you should be crafting during the fort split as well. I think it's questionable to be throwing pearls anyway on like around forts like this. Like you don't know if there's a wither right there, or like you hit this guy or whatever. Like yeah, you see the blaze there, but you don't know much else of anything, you know? Yeah, like there's this guy rolling up on you, and then that guy, and then you're down to 1 heart, and then if any of these guys are a skeleton, you're just dead. So you need to be watching, you need to be taking care of your health, because this entire split doesn't matter if you die. This is a little thing, but learning how to hit blazes is definitely something to remember. So right here, crit, good, and then it's like just frames of time loss, right? But like, you're jumping up, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 25 frames of time loss if you double crit, and like you just don't need to do that. You can just like crit and then normal hit it, and like you save that much time every blaze instead of double critting. Of course, if it's times like that where you need to hit it anyway, like that's totally fine. Also, you could just like be falling here and then like normal hitting it. Like fall off onto the balcony here and then like build up 1 or 2 and then normal hit it. Or normal, like, yeah, just pay attention to how you're hitting blazes. Definitely underrated skills to have. Okay, you don't need to be doing this. Like, you can just build it, like No Fear Portal, like how No Fear does it in his world record. Even in here, like, the dimensions are, like, pretty similar. Also, standing up on a block like that does nothing. Like if you were to open F3, I don't know if you do. No, you don't. But if you were to open F3, you're still on the same block. And that's what matters, not the not anything else. Going next. Okay, it looks like we're entering in on low D again. That's a good habit to have built. We have a diamond sword this time. This is great. Now you need to double crit. Oh man. That's just unfortunate. And I mean, this is just how you got to deal with it. Oh, here's a little thing. So while you're like up here, you can be, instead of like staring this guy down, you could be overlapping with trading. Just making sure that everybody's like over here and everything. You know, for hitting the zombie pig, you're doing a pretty good job at dealing with them. You just look all kinds of messed up on like your like whenever you hit things so far. It could just be 2 runs that you're off on, but you know. I think you can hang this. Okay, I was talking with Chloe about this earlier. If you are at one spawner, you're deciding to play a stray, but then you see the other spawner, so then you're gonna like long term decide to go to this other spawner. You can totally hang pearls in forts for stuff like this. It just got updated anyway. What? Okay, after you kill a wave, I'd argue that the back row is actually more important than the front 6. Yes, the front 6 are the most important. However, like the back row, like on average, it'll take you like 5-6 seconds to clean out the back row. The spawner takes around 10 to 12 seconds. So like you can get all of the back row and the front row at least started on the smallest or the shortest possible spawner time. However, since it's probably going to be longer than that, like you could probably just mine out the entire floor if you start with that back, because you know once you've mined out these, what is this, 24 blocks or whatever, like you don't want to be going back there because you might interfere with the spawn cycle. So once you kill a wave, mine out the back and then the front, and then Chloe and I looked at it in the Blaze Visualizer. You want to be going back, these 6, these 2, like right next to the spawner and behind it, and then the sides here. And then like you can even mine out the railing or whatever. But what you don't want to do is you don't want to be standing in the thing like you are right now. You're maybe not right now, but whenever you're standing this close, you're just invalidating spawn areas. Uh-oh. How did you manage that? I don't know what you were trying to do there, I'm gonna be so honest. Like, are we playing a dynamic again? Or 5RD? Like, you're at a spawner. You could have probably blaze bedded as well, now that I come to think about it. Yeah, like you could have been blaze bedding here. Case in point, previous feedback. This is still a mess. You may be invalidating spawn cycles, or at the very least, you're way too close to it. Like those guys could have just spawned near you and then path found to you, and you probably would get pretty well fucked up there. Okay, I assume that you're going for better chords. Yep. I think sending him to the overworld there would have been hilarious, but definitely wrong. These guys can't really get to you. They can't pop up here. Yeah, in terms of all of that stuff, I think... I really like how you were playing the dynamic. I just think that you probably did it for too long. Moving on. Okay. Kill this guy first because you're killing like so many withers, and if this guy just doesn't drop, if he didn't drop, that would be tragic. That would have been tragic amounts of time loss. Again, with the inventory management. Ooh, case in point to not double crit again. That doesn't happen. So many preventable things. It's small stuff, but it's all, like, important. I'd be taking care because you have a skeleton there. Also, alternating blocks, building up fortress legs, definitely important. Alternating between soul sand and any full block saves you about a tick every 2 blocks. So, small stuff like that. Again, optimizing fort splits. Yeah, that again. You gotta be more aware of stuff like that. Like blaze or hitbox collision's a bitch. And now that guy's like down there all the way. And now your fire res is... Did you die because you didn't reapply fire res? That would be very unfortunate. Yeah, yeah, I think that all of the like little bits of feedback that I gave you are like super duper applicable. I was talking with Chloe about it, like I mentioned. The biggest things to like think about in forts is how to remain dynamic. And I'm not just talking about the render distance. It's the how you're hitting blazes. You know, the difference between crits, falling crits, punishment crits, like if a blaze hits you and like while you're in the air you actually have like a split second to crit it, and if you learn that timing you just have a lot of like there's just those little things that if you had like learned, or if you do learn them, could really help you in the long run, just save micro time. Also, now that I'm thinking about it, if you're sitting at a spawner, Sizzler hitting them, where you go, like you hit, you go into your inventory, organize something or clear something out, hit again, and continue doing that. That's also super underrated. Yeah, if I think of more, if you want additional fort information, feel free to post like straight up mini practice kit session or like a compilation of fort stuff or Peepo practice or whatever.